So many years ago, before the wars and the Depression, I was living in Stroud Green, North London. Used to drink in the old dairy, I think it was. Anyway, one night I was coming back from the pub late, and as you know, coming back from the pub late in London, stuff can happen. And I was walking down Stroud Green Road and I bumped into Death. No, really, I bumped into Death on Stroud Green Road, and I must say he seemed surprised to see me. Although not as surprised as I was to see he, not as dry-mouthed, dribblingly panicked. I mean, Death here? I mean, what are you doing here with me? I mean, there's a pandemic on. I quickly babbled about, I mean, wouldn't you be better off elsewhere? I don't know, hovering over a private equity care home? Hovering over some bloated, opioid-raddled diabetic without health insurance in some county without health care in some southern states? What about sub-Saharan Africa? Or anywhere at all where oil, cocaine, or opium is found? Anywhere. I offered up all these possibilities for his, let's face it, his unique skill set, much as would a village hall hostess offer up her competition canapes. The tremulous quaver in my voice, I think, betraying my overwhelming desire for this brief encounter to be over, whilst my breath, bone and body still sluggishly responded to the clanking of what I hoped desperately was my mind. At this point, Death took a step back, tipped his battered top hat onto the back of his head, and proceeded to brush what I can frankly only describe as an extremely unseemly white powder from the faded brocade on the lapel of his frock coat. Lofty and Delphic, he then proceeded to fix me with a gibbous eye, and Death said this. He said, "I am Legion. I am the rock upon which I build my own church. Thank you very much. I am the proof." He said this last thing about the proof. He said this in such a smug way that I have to confess that curiosity momentarily eclipsed spirit-shatting fear. And I querulously inquired of him, what do you mean, Death? Proof of what? And Death said, the human need to believe stretches to gods and to governments, love, the possibility of doing good. But all of these things are but human invention. I am not. Oh yeah, no. Right at the end, when you're there swaddled in your nappies and you feel the shadow, this is my arm coming around you, because I am the one who is going to be there with you. That's right, I'm going to be your last first world problem. And I shall be looking back with you over the life that you have lived. And that's my point, young man. That's my point. You've got to live your life just as hard as you can. And with that, he disappeared into a greasy spume of diesel fumes, and I, very surprised, continued to walk on down Stroud Green Road. But let me tell you now I was living just as hard as I possibly could.